Okay, welcome. I'm going to, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to search for sources available through your library at Antelope Valley College. So this video is for my students at Antelope Valley College. No matter which class you're taking, whether it's 101 or whether it's developmental research methods, whatever it is, this is a video to show you how to search for those sources you might need in order to write your APA style paper. Okay, you can use it for any class as well. It doesn't have to be for psychology. So here I am at a library page over here. It's the one that you get to when you click on that link that says library services. I'm gonna start from here. You can see the link there. If you wanna go directly here, you can type that into the address bar. It'll take you directly here. Okay, so if we see here, it says library, and then there's this box down here that says search for resources. And the tab that is selected is the EBSCOhost Discovery Service. The EBSCOhost Discovery Service is used to look for basically articles, books, and other media, it says. Remember for the APA paper for my class, you're only allowed to use books and journal articles. Okay, I don't want you to use other media, okay? But this allows you to search for everything all at once. Now, when you do your search, make sure you click on full text, scholarly peer reviewed, right? We wanna limit ourselves to those texts, those journal articles that have been reviewed by experts in the field, okay? Not just some book written by somebody who may not know much about the subject. Okay, and let's do an example. Let's do a search for something related to depression. Let's look for, see what books and articles we find that have to do with depression. So I put depression in there, and now I'm gonna click search. Okay, it's taking a little while to load. There it is. Okay, there are our results there. It says that search results, 1 of 30 of 2,488,430. There's a lot of things about depression that you have access to, okay? A lot of books, journal articles, and even other things. So you can see right away that is too many. So what I suggest you do is that you limit your search. So right now we are on the basic search, okay? We can do what's called an advanced search. Let's do an advanced search. So I'm gonna click over here where it says advanced search. Okay, so now we can limit our search to, like, say, depression, and we can limit it to, let's say we want it to be a, probably not in all text, because anywhere depression is mentioned, you'll find that result. But maybe we want that to be a subject term. We want depression to be a subject, right? That means that's what the paper is about or the book is about, right? And we have more settings down here. Let's click again, scholarly, peer-reviewed, full text. That got unchecked. Every time you do a new search, it gets unchecked, okay? So you have to check it again. Now let's click search and see how many we find. And I guarantee you it'll still be too many. Now we only have 228,603. That's still too many, but we can still limit this, okay? We can limit it, let's say, by date. So over here, if you look over here on the left, there's a little slider over here. I'm gonna limit it to just stuff since 2000, since the year 2000. Now you might wanna read stuff that was published before 2000, but you know, this is just an example. Now we have 206,569. So it didn't limit it that much, okay? We still have a lot. And this just goes to show that most research, most books, most stuff in actually any field has been published in the last 20 years. The research has exploded over the years. And every year there's more and more research that is done. There's more and more books that are written. So it won't help you that much to limit it by year unless you limit it to, like, maybe the last 5 years or the last 2 years or something like that, which is probably limiting it too much, okay? There are other ways that you can narrow down your search. Depression, maybe we want that to be a way to really limit it. Maybe we want that to be in the title, or maybe, let's say, in the abstract, okay? Abstract first. if depression is in the abstract, that means the book, the journal article probably has a lot more to do with depression than if it's anywhere else. Okay, so now let's click search. And 377, it actually went up, okay? If depression is mentioned in the abstract. An abstract is the summary of the actual article, okay? Or, you know, it's a summary of the work that you're gonna be reading. Okay, so let's limit it in a different way. Now let's select, let's say that that word has to appear in the title. If the word depression is in the title, that means that the article, the book is about that, definitely about depression, okay? We want it to be there, and let's do the search now. We will limit it a whole bunch. See, now there's only 118,621. Still a lot, but you can see there's ways to narrow it down. But you can narrow down, maybe you're interested in not just depression in everyone, but depression in adolescents, let's say. Adolescents. And we want that to also appear in the title. Ooh, that will probably narrow it down way too much. So let's see what happens. Okay, now we only have 6,763, still a lot, but you can see there are ways to narrow this down, okay? But now you can read the title there. You have links. Remember, we limited to full text and scholarly peer reviewed. You have a PDF full text there. You can click on that, open it, and click from one page to the next, just like you would read a book or an article that you would have in print. You can also look at it in HTML if you want to look at it that way. But you have all these things, okay, all these sources, and you can look through them and see if they'll be useful for you to write your paper. Okay. There's another way that you can do a search. So I'm going to go back, and let's see if we can go all the way back. If we don't go all the way back, then I can't show you how to do this other thing. But let's keep going back. I want to go back to the first screen. Here it is. Okay. Because in Zoom, I can't just open up another window. It won't show it. Okay. I need to just go back to the screen we were on, the screen we started on. So here we are. Again, to the beginning where we can search for sources. We can also click on the library catalog, which is now called Primo, and we can search for books. And when it comes to books, you want to keep it more general. Like maybe, you know, again, let's try depression. Let's find books related to depression. Let's click search. Okay. So it's not that you can't keep it, you can't make it too specific here. Okay. You can't search for a book, let's say like depression in adolescence. You probably won't find one, but you can find books in general about depression that will probably speak of adolescence. Okay. Say something about adolescence. So you can see several books are here. Here's, it says depression, that's the different books there. Depression and anxiety, all these different books, okay, that you can find. And by the way, just to point out, some of these are ebooks, and you'll be able to read them right here on the screen. And others are books available at your library. See, it says right there, available online. These are ones you can read on the screen. There are others that are not available online. Let me see, all of these seem to be available online, but there are some that are not available online. And, you know, they will basically, that means that you would have to take down the title, the author, the call number, and walk over to the library and ask a librarian to help you find it. Now, I don't suggest you do that currently, because currently the college is closed for obvious reasons. Okay, there's, you know, there's some stuff that's been going on. Okay, I'm not going to mention what it is because I want this video to be used later as well, and I don't want to have to update it. So I'm, you know, I won't mention what that is, but yeah, currently the college is closed. You can't go there. I suggest you do your search online, read your books online, your articles online. Okay, read about these summarized parts of it. Remember to cite, right, and reference properly, and include some of this information in your paper. Okay, and there is a separate video about how to write your paper. Okay, this is just about how to do a search. Okay, that is where I'll stop. Okay, that is all I'm going to say about this. I meant for it to be a quick video. Okay, that's it.